Hey boys, it's your dad. So I went ahead and I finally got my tripod, as I mentioned before, and as you can probably tell, because the camera's not shaking as much, I'm a little more sophisticated now. I'm about that much more professional. I'm working on it. It's a work in progress. So boys, just real quick, I wanted to talk to you real quick about the purpose of this channel. Now, obviously the main purpose is to be able to talk to the two of you and share my views on life and whatnot, but it's also to basically to advertise my books. As I stated before, your dad is a romance novelist slash memoirist, and my debut memoir, Destiny Lives on Fairhaven Street, comes out November 2nd, 2023 by Black Rose Writing. This book is important to me because it's written to the two of you. The two of you don't know this, and I'm glad you don't, but we come from a family who has suffered just severe abuse for the last 4 generations. Basically, over 100 years, the women in our lives have had to be scared of being beaten almost to death, which actually happened to my mother, your grandmother. When I was your age, when I was 6 years old, I watched her beaten nearly to death by my dad. And it was then that I decided that one day when I had a woman in my life, that she would never have to worry about that. And that's where destiny starts at. Now, this book isn't for everybody. I'm going to tell you that right now. And you know, there are some people that are very sensitive to it because it is graphic. At least chapter 2 is. Chapter 2 deals with the actual situation of my father beating my mother nearly to death. But the book follows the idea of the 8 years that I spent trying to win back the woman I love, the first woman I loved, actually. What happened was we ended up moving after my father left. We moved to Fairhaven Street, which is in Palm Bay, Florida. And we lived there for 3 years, and I was very fortunate to live next to this beautiful girl named Danielle. And she was my world. And what happened was that I was hideous at the time. I was an ugly duckling growing up. And nobody would love me. My parents were still abusive towards me. Your grandmother was verbally abusive. And of course, I still dealt with the physical violence from my dad. And basically, Danielle lived across the street, and her family, her home, became like a sanctuary for me. And for 3 amazing years, we were together. We started out as best friends, and then eventually shifted over into romantic feelings. Now, what was astonishing about that, as I stated, I was ugly. No girl wanted to be around me or near me. I was shy. I had no confidence. I had the backbone of a jellyfish. But Danielle saw through all that. She saw the real me. And she did her best to try and bring it out of me as much as possible, to show me that I was worthy of being loved. And so eventually, my parents got a divorce, and we ended up in a situation to where we lived in Florida, and my mother had to move to Michigan, and I was forced in a custody battle between the two of them, and I had to choose which parent I wanted to go with. So ultimately, I chose my mother. Long story short, we moved to Michigan, and for 8 years, I was apart from Danielle. So before I left, I ended up giving her a heart pendant that snapped in half. I gave her one half, I kept the other. And I made a promise to her. I said that one day I was going to be back for her. And that one day when I did come back for her, we'd be together forever. And I also promised her that no matter what happened, I was going to love her forever. So, 8 years, I refused to date anybody when we were in Michigan. Refused to take the pendant off. It was all around my neck the entire time and slowly became tarnished as time went on. I changed myself, changed my looks, worked out, started getting better looking, learned to defend myself, started taking martial arts, something I'm teaching you guys now. I prepared myself to go back to try and win this girl back because this was a woman who was a totally different caliber. And I knew that even at that level, she deserved to be with the absolute best. And I knew that I was capable of being that best, that good. And so I was going to win her back. And so the book goes over that 8-year journey of everything I went through, the loneliness, watching other people be in love, and there was nothing I could do. I couldn't be that way with somebody else because I only wanted Danielle, and that was it. The book leads us all the way through until I turned about 20, I believe, after graduating from high school at 19. And I went back to Florida to try and win Danielle back. But this book is vital to me. This is the story of my life, and it's written to the two of you because I want you guys to understand where I came from and where our family came from. And it's an amazing book. It's won 16 awards already. It's even been considered for a spot in the Guinness Book of World Records. It's being considered. We'll see what happens. I really hope they climb on board with us and they understand and they put it in the book because I really want that inclusion so bad. It's my debut memoir, my debut book in general, and that would be absolutely groundbreaking to have somebody do that on their debut. But nevertheless, Destiny Lives on Fairhaven Street comes out November 2nd, 2023 by Black Rose Writing. It's going to be available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and all major retailers. In fact, not only that, we're doing a sale. So leading up, I believe it's November 1st, starting November 1st and ending about November 3rd, Destiny Lives on Fairhaven Street is going to be on sale. The ebook version has been reduced to 99 cents. I'm also starting an email list for anyone else who's happened to be watching this who would like to join. I'm not going to litter you with a bunch of emails. I just want to be able to use them to be able to show you when my other books come out, because there's going to be a lot of them. So the site I can be reached at is https://www.the-Fairhaven, Fairhaven series.com. My name is CJ Hudson, and I'm a writer. Boys, just know above all else that I love the two of you with all my heart, and so does your mom. We're both so very proud of you guys. And this is going to be the first of many, many, many videos that I'm going to share with the two of you. So I love you guys, and we'll talk soon.